Hello, 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 and welcome to my Is Your Ex Coming Back series for September. As you know, guys, I'm reading signs in order, how many clicks and likes and comments you had in the previous reading. So don't forget to push your sign forward by just doing exactly that. So subscribe, like, click. So okay guys, if you're the first time here and first time seeing this series, I'm going to explain these cards because they're significators. But before I do that, I just want to let you know that this reading is not for you if you do not want your ex come back. But if, for example, if your ex is still calling you and want to get in touch with you, or you're still having second thoughts and you want to know really what is in their head, then this is actually a good reading to look into. So not only your sign but their sign. It's also good to check your ascendant and your moon sign because it's a general reading. Okay, so these cards here are called significators. What does it mean? That means they're going to be the same in each and every reading. Just trying to put some paper here so we actually can see these significators if it's going to collaborate with me. And is it? Well, maybe. So significators are going to be just like a chapter title on a chapter in a book, right? Where these cards are going to be identical in each and every reading. I'm not reading these cards. This basically took me forever. Like, this is actually my secret sauce, if you wish. I had to find a combination of these elements and cards that I can squeeze out so I can actually give you a really educated opinion about what's going to happen. This is not clear cut. This is not yes or no. Sometimes certain things need to happen in order for things to develop, right, in between the partners. So hence, I actually guide you through the process. So these are 7 cards. The first one is the Magician. In this category, I really want to figure out if your relationship was ever a starter, right? If you get kind of cards that are tricky over here, it's going to make me think, why do you really want to continue with this? Then I am using here Temperance reversed, right? Temperance upright is always kind of like, hey, you know, things are merging and lining up and all the stars are there. When in this category I'm putting this reversed, I want to figure out, even if you have everything favorable over here, what would need to be remedied in order to actually move forward. So this is going to be one significator, second significator. Either one can be you. You don't have to go with, oh, it's a girl, so I have to be a girl, kind of a thing. You are going to know which one is which. Then this is going to tell me the energy and the flow of information between the two of you, communications and stuff like that. And then these are 2 really important categories as well. Judgment is going to tell me, hey, is karmically this really in the best alignment with you? And you guys really should check my karmic readings as well, because it really tells you much bigger picture, right? You know, when they say you don't see forest from the tree, that's because you are too close to the problem, right? And if you're involved, let's say you really want this partner, then you're not able to kind of like see how that's going to be seen 20 years from now. Or maybe you should ask yourself, if you're as old as I am, well, do you still really want your boyfriend from 20 years ago? Or now you're kind of like, phew, he's gone, kind of a thing, right? So that's kind of a category where that's going to tell us that. And here is going to be about the next steps. So this is it in a nutshell. So hopefully we can start. And if you have any other questions, again, please give me your likes, shares, comments, and we can go from there. Hello, Leos, and congratulations, you're the first sign, yay! And you have been first for I think 3 times in a row. So thank you for clicking, thank you for commenting. It's really great to see that. Now, I do have to tell you that Cancer, which was the very last sign that has been read and delivered 20 days after yours, is giving you rent for your money. So food for thought, guys. You just need to clicking and coming and checking and commenting in order to create and maintain your kind of like status of king of the jungle and king of the signs. So let's see. So let's see, guys, what is in the store for you this month. This is kind of a little bit more tedious subject that we are doing over here, but let's try. And don't forget, guys, also checking your ascendant and checking your moon sign. Okay, maybe like this is going to be better because I have zoomed in as close as I can so you can see the cards better. All right, Leo for September. You have 10 of Wands, you have the Emperor. Wow, you have 10 of Swords. Some of you guys really feel betrayed. Some of you guys feel that you have given so much, you have trusted so much, and you have given nothing or just morsels in return. And I really think this is really bothering you over here. That really shows. You felt the control was like kind of like removed from you. And I mean, we are seeing 2 4s over here, and I'm really trying to do these things going, I love the sun, but then the sun kind of like creates problems with the cards, and I want you to see it. So I really feel that some of you have been in a relationship that had secrets, that you tried to, maybe you found a secret when it was too late. Look at this 4 4 4. It's really dominating this particular first line, right? 4s are talking about stability. 4s are talking about you knowing where you're going, having understanding where you are going, right? The Emperor is the strongest 4, and look, he's sitting on his throne. But this is falling in this category. If you didn't listen to explanation, just go back quickly, like refresh your memory. It's just a couple of minutes. This is falling in Temperance reverse category, which is talking about things that need to be glued. And it is not just a matter of, oh, let's put this relationship back, but it is the matter of everything has to be out in the open. You shouldn't be feeling backstabbed anymore. You should have a control over your timelines, over your emotions, over everything that is going on. These guys are really biggies. We also have 2 10s, right? So look at this entire reading is kind of dominating, like in a way that is saying, look, it just cannot be the way it was. It really has to be very different. This card in particular is strongly speaking that somebody pulled a rug under your feet. After that, it was, I'm just holding to what I have. I just cannot afford to lose anything more. Like, this card to me always speaks volumes. He is having only 4 pentacles, but look, he used everything he has to hold them. This pentacle here, he's using as a shield right in front of his heart, right? And I really think that both of you are in that situation. There is lots of pain included in this situation. You have another 4 hiding. Look at this, 10 and 3 is 13, 1 and 3 is 4, and 13 also card in tarot is death. Death talks about that resurrection. It has this scorpionic kind of like appeal in the situation. I also see Sagittarius over here, guys, appearing. I see Cancer, and I see Aries, I see Scorpio, and I see earth signs over here. So I guess these energies are clearly coming through. This is not to say that something else is not happening. So when things kind of like flew off the handle, which I think it was the case, it was like, oh, shock. Something was shocking. Like, you maybe didn't have approval of your family or this partner's family. Maybe you felt that kind of like wouldn't be a good fit, but you continued nonetheless. But the first part was these secrets. You see, he is carrying these things, and these things are not the best way to be carried that way. He is not seeing what is ahead of him. It almost like tells me you have been in a situation that you were literally doing one step at a time. And when this happens, it's kind of like really difficult, because that's why you're nervous. That's why you're saying, oh, I better hold on to what I already have, because I never know if the next step, everything is going to start falling apart. Okay, I'll remove this because I really want to focus on this one, because this one here is a tricky one, right? Karma is talking about the Tower reversed, and you see the Judgment card is represented with Pluto, and so with the Tower is kind of like very jarring. Let's put it this way, it's a jarring card, right? Why? Because it represents Mars, right? But we see here both the king, the one that maybe was holding it over here, could be that you, king of the jungle, and just like a servant, both falling off. This is also a very phallic card. Whenever I see this card, it can talk to me about somebody denying you the truth, or there is a fear, like if I say something, things are going to be really bad for me. Somebody is in self-preservation mode when this card shows up reversed, because in the upright it's like shock, it's like flat tire, it just happens, you have to hold on to the wheel, right? Holding on to pentacle, kind of allegory, right? They were not driving that much these days when they did the cards, otherwise we will have many more driving cards, right? So this also can talk about reluctance. Maybe this person, because check this out, 17 and 3 is 20. It does add to karma. It is something very karmic happening. Love is there. I do think they love you. I do see that. But I also see that some secrets, like look at these black cards connecting to this. They're afraid that certain things from the past would catch up with them. So almost like they feel, this is really bad, but if she or he knows, it will be awful. You see, that's kind of like a feeling that they have. There's like something much bigger than they hide, and even though what you found out, it's really not good, something else that is like in their back pocket, it's even worse. Because you see, this is my card of ships, partnerships, relationships, and he is looking here, like look, he almost has like stuff that we use it in Formula Ones, like a winner kind of a thing. It's 3 is the beginning stage, right, of going somewhere, and there are like already breaks that have been stepped in phase number 4. It's like, okay, it's a great idea, you want everything pretty, but where is the functionality of the matter, right? So when this kind of like shows up, it really tells, again, it was some risk, and I really think this risk ended up exploding in somebody's face, right? There have been obstacles that they have been facing, and that's why the disappointment, something that has been generated. I think both partners are so disappointed. Why in the world? Honestly, I have to ask you, why do you really want to be with each other? But at the very least, I think this is wise thing. Next steps is telling you, both of you, look, give your thanks to where you are. Let me repeat that. Give your thanks to wherever you are. This is a soldier that just came from the battle, and the story is that they have built these caskets before they went, so if they would die, they would just ship them back, right? But this guy came back alive, and you can even tell in the little kind of like church window that is a child and a woman, and it can suggest that could be his very special space, that somebody ordered a stained glass window as his some kind of like sort of mausoleum over here, right? Now 3 swords are up, and this is the danger that you face, but 1 has laid down, so there is like peace, and right now he's entirely focused on this one, right? But they're like almost like reminds me, you know how we say the cats have 9 lives, but here it looks like, well, there are like 3 more different chances over here. But more than anything else, to me, this card, as much as it connects to the other 4s, is really talking about that meditation, about feeling grateful where you are. So some of you will say, well, what is to feel grateful about? Because I see this, I see like, I was just backstab cat, like he or she promised me that we are going all the way. I introduced them, I gave them money, and I gave them my heart, I gave them my soul, and then they pulled the rug under my feet, kind of a thing, right? But it looks like it has been kind of like in both ways, because I think this partner that you're dealing with is going through some kind of resentment and frustration. Like, I mean, it could be really that relaxation and rest to both of you can be used in a productive way. You have to kind of like figure it out, what you really need, what you really want. It's not really good to deal with a situation when you're highly triggered and we say and do really crappy things. Then a month later, oh, I wish, like then you write something and it looks completely illiterate. You come across as Looney Tune and crazy just because you are just angry or sad. There's like another basically side to that story, but I see more shock and devastation and puzzled, kind of like I see actually that both of you are asking yourself why. And that's really interesting because I see that on both sides, right? So let's continue. Now you have King of Pentacles, Seven of Cups, Knight of Pentacles, Five of Wands, but we also have a King of Wands. Look at all these freaking people. They're kings. See, I'm asking that the Knight comes out, because if you are broken up with someone or you don't know where they stand, Knight is the first sight you're going to see. People will not knock on your door and say, okay, I'll marry you, right? It might happen, but as you know, that doesn't happen that often, right? It will more happen, hey, can we talk? That's what the Knights are. Kings are on their knees. This is you. They see you as important. They see you more important than they are. I think you are willing to offer them friendship, but to tone it down, but like at the same time, it's kind of really weird that you have lots of wishes, you had lots of dreams, you really wanted this to go you wanted this to go somewhere. The Hierophant is the marriage card. This is a marriage card as well, so check this one out. Is this person married? Is this person with somebody else? Because I see here, like, really debate taking place, and really, this shock and awe, like something really unpleasant that kind of like came through, is like now coming to this kind of like next level. And this next level is, okay, you know what, I'm standing my ground. I'm not going to stay and listen to whatever you have to say. You really need to do kind of like better. So this is kind of like really important, that is really coming through over there, right? But interestingly to me is, hi Matrix, are you a lion? Are you black lion? Are there black lions? I'm pretty sure they are. You are one. I love you. It's interesting that the black cat came here. Right, Matrix? Say hi, say hi, say hi. Say hi. Yeah, that's actually my husband. He sleeps next to me and he protects me from tiger and everything. He's extra prudent in how he behaves. So it's really interesting that he's coming through. Because remember how I said this card is about protection. This card is about, hey, I came back. I'm alive. God protected me, right? And that's kind of like a train of thought and giving your thanks. But interestingly enough, over here that I see all of these things, and like you guys looks like are not willing to let go of that. You are not willing to say it's over. There's still these dreams, and you feel, see, this is a 7 and this is a 7 actually ultimately, but you feel these dreams have been shattered and that you don't even have control over the situation. Come on, Matrix. No, it was enough. Too many cards. Too many cards. Off you go. Come on. Off you go. Thank you. You can read cards. I like cards. But I do have to tell you that I just close my eyes, I can see what's going on. Because at this stage, cards really help me sort of like a map. Like, I know where I'm going with this. I'm feeling the flavor, but this really helps me to fill the gaps in sort of like a vision that I see. And I see the vision that you guys are very romantic, that you're like seeking this truth. This is why the Ten of Swords is showing up here, that, or more or less, rather to say, you don't want to live a lie. Because look at this, we have 10 and we have a 10, we have a 10. Tens are the ending on one phase and the beginning of the new one. It's like 2 in 1 sort of a thing, right? And it's also telling me how this should happen. So I am a little bit worried over here, because what I see is you want what you want. You want this relationship, and you still want to return back to that dream that kind of like existed in your head, and you feel, well, you know, maybe if we kind of like drop our things down and set our stage. It looks to me that either you guys have different religious backgrounds. I guess I have to a little bit unzoom, or that you have different sense of how the life has to be lived, right? Because that is what is showing me here. On your side, guys, there is like this sense of, okay, slow and steady wins the race. Let's kind of tackle this one thing at a time. Everything will work out. So almost like you're looking long term, where they're kind of like looking at it, oh, I'm going to just be spectacular. Almost like you're dealing with somebody who might be slightly, I don't know, narcissistic. But clearly I have to tell you, they do feel that you are way above them, way, way above them. That's why King of Wands is showing up there. Or that they really want to be this person, this man, this woman that you really want them to be. But they at the same time feel that it will be issue with the family, that somehow things would not be flowing. And I really think that you actually have not realized who this person really is. Because this person is playing a really good game. This person is very much gaffe prone, to be on a safe, on a kind of like small scale, to being very explosive. This person is really thinking, sorry to say it, with his dick, right? Or with whatever is an agenda for them, if this is a female. So hence the family, and how is this going to be long term, right? Something that is really important to you, not important. Well, it's important when he's with you, because, or she's with you, because they want to present, yes, I'm a family person, I want to be with you, yes, my family, everything is so freaking perfect. And the problem is like that you bought into that picture, because like when I'm thinking, when I told you I don't need cards, I'm seeing this almost like this pretty much scene showed up to me, but except to show me like in a very kind of like fuzzy pink and green, which kind of like really tells me it's more about heart than it's about, hey, are we kind of like good on the paper kind of a thing, right? You also want somebody who is a provider, who is standing on their feet, right? And it looks like it could be financial issues that are affecting the situation. This really tells me there's trouble in the family. This together can indicate divorce. You see, you're getting a longer reading because you're first. So let me see where this is heading. Yeah, you see, Ten of Swords and Ace of Swords to me are very similar, except this is the beginning and this is the ending and the beginning, right? But this is also one of my karma cards. It is because this is the fastest card in this entire deck. It's really interesting. Look at this. 4, 5, 6. 4, 5, 7. It's almost like this inverted Y, right? So we are dealing here with chromosome. Whoa! And we have the Empress and the Emperor and the Hierophant. This is very, and the High Priestess. Are you guys having a child or a secret child, or somebody has a secret child? There will be lots of decisions here that need to be made, and kind of like it, what really bothers me, it kind of like goes black and white, black to white, white to black, black to white. What do I mean by that? It's all or nothing. there is like no path that you need to kind of slowly integrate, and then it's that solid bond. It's like, no, okay, we're not together. Oh, we are not together, because you're kind of like really that bond. And I'm not saying this is because of you. I'm just saying that's kind of like the feeling I'm getting about this whole thing. Because look at it, it's again about the secrets. It's again like you also don't know where the heck you want to go. They don't also know if they want to be your friend, if they want to be your enemy, if they want to be your boyfriend, partner, girlfriend. They're not defined in this. But I really don't think they're heading toward family life. I really have to tell you. That's not to say that they would not marry. This means that they can force marriage. Sometimes people do that just to say, I'm okay, I'm right. But this worries me. This is really telling me, well, that doesn't worry me, but this is telling me that both of you are affected with this karmic effects in this relationship, right? Because she's a psychic, she's number 2, and we have a number 2. You see the difference. So we had 10s, and now we have 1s and 2s over here, and 6 and 7. So 1, 2, 3. So we are kind of like, you're entering a new phase. And that new phase, I think, is going to be understanding, and this is lovely, because this person is showing up as a 6, and you're showing up as a 7. So it could be a third-party relationship over here, and that relationship might be sort of like on the arm's length relationship. They might be with somebody, or they might be with somebody indirectly. So what do I mean with that? That I mean that technically they can say they are not with a person, but that could be possibly because the person doesn't want to be with them, or somehow there is a distance. Maybe they live in different cities. So technically they can say, well, no, I'm not sleeping with anybody, but this is not to say that they're not in a relationship. You see what I mean? Because that kind of like is coming across there. There's still secrets, or they might be dealing with his ex-partner, and there's like still something going on. Maybe they don't live together, but maybe they kind of like waited for things to kind of calm down. The very much situation that you have, that they have with somebody else, and because they had the issue with you, now of course they're like working on the other end. So that could be that type of a person. Look at this, everything that I see around them, reversed. Karma is warning you about this person. It's telling you that it's going to get the worst out of you, the worst. You're going to feel angry, you're going to feel jealous, you're going to feel frustrated, you're going to feel you want to pull your hair out, you're going to feel, oh my God, what did I get myself into? I cannot live with him or her, but I cannot live without it. It's because it's the karmic bond. An Ace of Swords shows up when it tells you need to cut it off. You need to cut off the way things are flowing. This whole codependent thing over here, it's kind of like you're better than that. Imagine if for a moment you can find that love within yourself, that you can say, you know what, I wish you a peace, I wish you happiness, and that doesn't have to be with me. It's optional, but I do wish that for you. And to be really sincere, it's hard, especially when you really want someone, but that's exactly what the situation is calling for. I think at some point you realize that realization is going to be, it's too hard, I'm just building this myself. And on their end, I really think they were taking advantage of you. Look at this, they're throwing the money outside, and yet I think you're the only person who really knows them for who they really are, and you accepted them hook, line, and sinker, and they still like to feel important. And sort of like these days you can put an expensive watch or look-alike watch, expensive clothes, and give a story and people will trust it, where the truth could be completely different. That could be, somebody else's clothes. It could be just purchased and then returned, right? Appearances are really an issue over there. So again, we are going back to this card. I think taking this time off, and the best solution would be just calm down and start thinking why certain things happen. And you will see they happen because This person really wanted to soothe something, maybe soothe their pain, maybe satisfy their vanity. Because on one hand, you see here that they're putting you on a pedestal, and you probably like when that happened. You probably fell in love with them because they were doing that. But did you ever wonder why that happened? Did you maybe ever wonder if they did it because, hey, that was a shortcut to getting you? Because look at that, right after that, they're saying, yeah, you know, I don't know if you are the perfect woman for me, right? Because they're looking for that perfection. Like you see, the emperor and the empress are sort of like almost like fictional characters. If somebody saying, I want to marry a Snow White, yeah, you know, just erase the phone number immediately if you hear stuff like that. But you heard a spin-off of that. And in a sense, you don't have material that can make silk. You have burlap over here at best. Because you want this husband. You don't want to be this defensive, right? You kind of like want to know the direction where you're going. And it just like feels like on this banana peel, everything is like so wobbly. So it's not a good situation to be, guys. Now, as I said, this is a karmic step. Karma stepping in, right? So this is referring me back to this whole column over here. And this column is adding and coming back to the Empress. It's talking, especially if you're a woman, that this is something that you're resolving right now, something major. It is karmic. And there are like things that you need to cut inside of you, whether this is expectations or turning a blind eye to something, but also you need to cut things outside. Maybe somebody was just a problem. Maybe you have been dealing with somebody who was arguing all the time and who was not generous. Not that, I mean, look, I see pentacles around you. You have been serious. You have been serious. But this person has his pentacles reversed, and you're finally getting to that point and saying, okay, look, I just cannot make you. I don't want to make you. That doesn't make me feel loved and strong. So you need to revisit why they have been with you. You need to spend this time for yourself and see what was this person's kind of like game. Because I really think it was the game, and I really think it could be somebody on the side. There are still secrets in this relationship. And certain things need to be revealed. Certain things need to be brought to the surface, right? Look at this. We started with the secrets. We ended with secrets. There are like lots of things here that you don't know. So don't plan and don't jump into that until you really do know. So, and this is not going to come out during the month of September. Mind you guys, when I'm doing your personal readings, they are much faster and not faster, they're like better that I can pinpoint because I'm picking here on lots of energies. So it would be really interesting to hear your comments over here. But if you really want your reading, this is still on special for $50. And contact me via cattarot.ca. Until then, don't forget to check your moon sign. Don't forget to check your ascendant. There is a link in the description where you can figure out how to do that. And yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing from you guys. And don't make big waves this month. Stand your ground and really think, why is this person into me? Just ask yourself the question and allow yourself to hear the answers. And that's going to really save you lots of time, money, and emotions. And you know, guys, that I love you. Next week I'm starting with monthlies, so hence your clicks, likes, and subscriptions are really, really encouraged. And thank you so much for this. My dear Leo, I really wish you a nice month, and we're going to see more details when I do the monthlies. I love you.